Council members, Mayor, Madam Treasurer, City Attorney, Chief of Staff, Deputy Clerk, and audience. This is the City of Romulus special meeting public hearing. This hearing is for the council to hear objections to the demolition and/or removal of debris on properties described on demolition list 24-01. At this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo? Here. Councilman Barden?
Here.
Councilman Kraft?
Here.
Councilman Jones?
Here.
Councilwoman Talley?
Here.
And Mr. Chair and Council, we ask that Councilwoman Roscoe and Councilman Wadsworth both be excused.
So moved, yep.
So noted. Mr. Chair and Council, we have a quorum for this evening's public hearing meeting. Tonight's public hearing agenda is as follows. Number 1, roll call. Number 2, agenda. Number 3, public hearing, and the discussion is demolition list 24-01. Public comment. Number 5 is adjournment, and a motion would be in order to accept the public hearing agenda as presented.
So moved, accept the public hearing agenda as presented.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, to accept the public hearing agenda as presented. Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Crump,
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion is approved.
Thank you, Council. Number 3, we're now in discussion, and I'm assuming that our Building Director, Mr. Kemp, is going to lead off this discussion this evening.
Yes. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This year, we have 12 properties on our demo list, and we have a presentation that I can give you the rundown on each property and where they're at, and then we can go address by address, and if there's any questions, we can go through that as well. So the first property is 34139 Beverly Road. There was a house fire on this property in November of '23. It's been vacant since the fire. The city did receive an insurance withholding of $15,009 that we still have. I have been speaking with, I think it's a typo, his name is Mr. Beanham, who says he intends to demo the house. They want to hire a contractor and demo the house themselves. They were at the Construction Board of Appeals hearing. We discussed it and agreed that they could have 90 days to get all the proper permits in place, but I was going to still continue to move forward on the process because the house has been sitting there burnt up and vacant like that for a good time now. Any questions on that one?
Okay, cut and dry.
Mayor?
Just one quick question. I see that we already received the fire withholding, which is to cover the cost of demolition. Has Mr. Bean, the property owner, been advised that there's a process where he can sign over to let the city proceed, since we already have the funds?
Yes.
And it would be significantly cheaper for him to do it because he could waive the administrative fees? All
We
right.
have discussed that. They have went back and forth on possibly renovating, but now the last conversations we had, they were going to want to demo it, but yes, we have discussed it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, through the chair.
Yeah.
Just so I'm clear, so they wanted to demo it, and we got funds from where to get it done?
So since it was a fire, the insurance company
Okay.
covered it, so we get 25% of whatever the coverage is withholding, just to ensure that the property gets brought back in a safe
Gotcha.
condition. So we do have that, and we are holding that right now.
Okay, and that would cover the cost of the demo?
Some of it.
It should.
Okay,
I haven't gotten bids on it as
I
of
got
yet,
you.
but-
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So the next property is 35930 Beverly. This house has been vacant for about 10 years. Enforcement started in 2016. Home is basically gutted inside and not in great condition. Had issues recently with somebody kicking the door in and trespassing, got some calls from the neighbors. Construction Board of Appeals hearing, the owner was there and they said that they do want to rehab the home and pull the proper permits to do that. Construction Board gave them the same 90 days to get the proper permits in place or pull their own demo permit. But in the same explanation, I want to ensure we keep moving forward to make sure nothing happens for a long time.
Any questions? Discussion?
Next property is 35875 Bivens. Home's been in enforcement since 2015. I have recently spoken to the owner, and they have scheduled me to do a walkthrough on the property on the 14th of March, which is this Friday. Because they said they do want, that they had hired a contractor that started doing some work, but didn't pull any permits or do anything like they were supposed to do. And they want to try to rehab the home and get the proper permits to do that. I have never been inside this home, so I can't comment on what it looks like inside, but I do have a time scheduled Friday to walk through it.
Any questions?
Yeah, through the chair, you said it's been sitting there 10 years, and they said they want to rehab it?
Yes.
And why haven't they done anything up to this point?
I believe, what she explained to me was that they did hire a contractor to do some things on the inside. I think they've even bought materials and stuff, but that contractor, and I think this is a few years ago, but that contractor never pulled any permits or didn't complete the work or anything like that.
A couple of years ago?
I'm not sure
Oh, okay.
exactly when. When was that?
Oh, this was like 4 years ago, I'm still, he lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
So,
Oh, okay.
he got paid and everything.
He didn't pull anything? Nothing pulled? Okay. Well, thank you.
Through the chair. Through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Abdo?
I appreciate your working with these people, to help them in any way, just like all the other ones, giving them 90 days and working with this woman to help her too, because that's what we're all about.
And, I'm sorry, through the chair. Jeff,
Yes.
can we go back, are we done with Bivens? I need to go see that first Beverly property again. I missed that picture.
Which one? The first one?
Yeah, the first one. Is that the first one we looked at on Beverly?
This is the first one, the fire.
Yeah, that's it.
It'd be such a pain.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr.
On this
Jones?
first property, are you just tearing down the house, or are the other properties, structures that's on that
We
property?
would have to tear down all the structures unless there's a house that's gonna be getting built, which we don't have any plans or anything, because you cannot have an accessory structure without a primary
there,
structure on the
That's what I
property.
was just making sure.
Yep.
Okay.
So the house next door to it was not included, just this one house and the barn behind it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Next property is 6965 Birchdale. The house has been vacant in enforcement for 9 years. Property owner was here at the Construction Board of Appeals hearing, said that he does know he needs to demo it and that he hasn't done anything with it. He is talking about selling it to somebody who's going to demo it, but I have not seen anything happen on that end yet.
Any discussion?
Yeah, through the chair, so this one's been sitting how long?
Oh, it's been vacant for, I don't know how long. I know he explained to me that his wife had passed away a long time ago, and he walked away from the house after that, and then just hasn't kept up on it at all.
And you had a recent conversation with him?
A month ago at
A
the
month ago.
Construction Board of Appeals hearing. He
Okay.
did say there was someone interested in buying it and doing the demolition, and I just told him on that timeline, like, try to get a hold of that person so they can go through the proper steps to get the demolition complete.
They got 90 days too?
No, he didn't even ask for a 90-day timeline.
Mhm.
I mean, but we have, once this goes up, like if you guys approve these, then we have to go through, then our process starts where we have to do title searches and disconnects
Right.
and everything like that. But in the same sense, once we start to do those things, then costs start to get incurred by the property owners.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Next property is 6355 Cordell. This house has had enforcement since 2020. Water department had called because they were changing the meter, and they told me the house was in really poor condition inside, so we did have one of the inspectors go by and do a walkthrough, and it was in very bad condition. Floor was rotted, the interior of the home's in really bad condition, and we definitely recommend demolition on this home.
Discussion? Okay.
Next property is 35523 Goddard. That's right downtown on the corner. It's been in enforcement since 17. I have spoken to this owner multiple times. They were trying to rehab the home, but there was too much work that would need to be done, and they have decided they do want to demolish the home. They do have a few disconnects already. They still have to get the water and sewer disconnected and pay that fee, and we do have a bond of $6250, which he is wanting to get that bond to where he can pay for that tap fee and then demolish the property. And this would also be the home and the accessory structures and everything on it.
Discussion? Okay.
Next property is 11201 Middle Belt Road. This is, I think people knew it as the pallet farm, from what I've been told. It's been in enforcement since '07, water's been off since '16. It's lost its non-conforming status, it's zoned M2. I did get a letter, we received a couple letters from some attorneys today, right?
Yes. And after you're done, I'd like to, Mr. Chair and Council, to read their email that they sent. They were unable to be here, so we just wanted to read it into the record. And we did provide a copy for you.
Right.
Do you want me to read that now, or? Done. I'll
Yeah,
just
we
wait.
can read it, and I can just, I've never been inside this property. We've sent out a lot of notices just since I've worked here, and never gotten any responses until today.
Okay. Attorney Steve Robinson stopped in today. He just, I guess, received notice of tonight's hearing, but was unable to be here, so he sent an email and asked that I read this into the record. To whom it may concern, please be advised that I represent the estate of Lucille Drysdale, Wayne County Probate Court, case number 2007-719695. At the time of her death, Ms. Drysdale was the owner of the above referenced property. An estate was opened but then closed without making disposition of the property. On November 30th, 2020, an individual by the name of Stanley Cazole obtained a judgment quieting title to the property in his favor, alleging he had purchased the property from Mrs. Drysdale's son, and that's Wayne County Circuit Court case number 20-002496. The estate of Ms. Drysdale was reopened. The estate filed a motion to set aside the judgment which was granted on June 7th, 2023. That matter is still pending. Additionally, prior to the judgment being set aside, Mr. Cazole gave a mortgage to, I think it's Ghanem Investments, LLC. Currently, the parties are attempting to resolve the issue of ownership, and the litigation is ongoing. We received notification from the city of Romulus for a notice of demolition to be heard at the council meeting tonight. I am requesting the council adjourn the hearing in order for the interested parties to resolve the aforementioned issues. Thank you for your consideration. I have copied this email to council for the interested part and the interested parties. Regards, Steve Robinson. We also received a response from Mr. Ronald Hasted. He's also, I believe he represents the other side, Ghanem Investments as well. Good afternoon. I am the attorney representing Ghanem Investments, who holds the mortgage on the Middle Belt property. As Mr. Robinson indicated, there are pending issues concerning the ownership of the property, as well as protecting Ghanem Investments' rights as mortgagee. Mr. Robinson told me during a phone call shortly before sending this email to you that he believes that his request to adjourn this matter will be granted. I fully concur in the request and ask for confirmation of the adjournment. In the meantime, moving forward, I believe all parties would be receptive to keeping the city informed of any progress they make and the inclusion of its building department, city attorney, and/or other city officials where necessary to help ensure that the city's interests are protected as well. Like Mr. Robinson, I thank you for your consideration as well. And basically, what Mr. Robinson related to me was that, you know, there's pending litigation in this, and just, I guess, ask that the demolition be, I'm surprised he said adjourned, but I thought he said delayed, you know, until they're able to, you know, till the litigation is over with this. So I'm not sure the proper terminology for this. I'm just reading verbatim.
Mayor?
Thank you. Through the chair, I just want to point out a couple of things. That property has been under code enforcement since 2007 with no repairs. You're missing shingles and parts of the roof admitting rain, deteriorating structural members on that roof. And this has been settled in court since 2023 with no permits being secured here whatsoever. Also, this has lost its non-conforming status, so it can't be used as a single-family residence. The value of this property is the parcel itself, not the unusable structure here. So just point it out to council before you move forward, take action on this one. I get what, I understand the request, but if they have money to pay attorneys, they should be taking care of the blighted structures in the city around us, in my opinion. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
The next property is actually one parcel, but there's two structures on it, 29805 Van Born and 29815 Van Born. These may look familiar because these were on the demo list last year. And we worked with the resident. They did order a city cert, we did inspections. The interior of the home was actually much worse than I anticipated it was going to be. There was somebody living in the one home, which they are not there now. But now these are back on the list again, because this is also lost its non-conforming status. They can't be residences. It's M1 zone property on Van Born, and they're not in good shape. I've spoken to a couple of the brothers of the family that own it, and they go back and forth that they're gonna do something. And I worked with them for a good part of a year, and then it kind of went cold, and that's why they're back on the list.
Through the chair.
Yes. Ms.
And I
Talley?
think, didn't they come to the meeting last, I think it was last year?
Last year they-
Weren't they present here?
Yeah, they were present here.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's-
and we had a discussion, and they wanted to work through things and get things going.
Right.
And for a little while, they did. They ordered an inspection on it, and we went in there and looked through it, and then after that, it kind of, a couple more discussions, and then it went cold.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
And that's both of these properties. They're both on the same parcel.
Yeah, Mr.
So
Jones?
you said these two parcels, they are just like unable to rehabilitate?
Yeah, the one is in really bad condition. I mean, you can rehabilitate a lot of it. It just depends how much money you want to spend to do it, right? But they can't be residential homes.
Okay.
Because they can't be, they gotta be something. It can be office, there can be a lot of different uses for the property, but residential is not one of them.
Okay.
The
I'm
next
sorry,
one-
through the chair,
Yes.
Jeff. I'm sorry, I'm going back to the one that was on Middle Belt real quick. Do the people that's disputing ownership, do they know that this is a non-conforming property? Are they aware? Would that be something that they
I've
need to be
never-
made aware of?
I've never had any communication with them
Okay.
before today. So I don't know for sure, but we have sent multiple notices for
Okay.
a long time.
And just if I can, Councilwoman Talley, we did provide Mr. Kemp's information to the attorney, just so that they can communicate with you as well. You
Okay.
know, so it just sounds like they wanted, the process stayed until they finish their litigation because they're
Who
back
owns
and
it?
forth.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but at least we provided that and to let them know,
Yep.
so,
Okay. I mean, I don't know if that would help in their plans, if they know.
Well, now that they know what's going on, like I said, Mr. Robinson was not able, Attorney Robinson was not able to be here tonight, but he at least wanted,
On the
his
record.
comments read into the record.
Right.
So, we did tell them this has to come back before you all to vote on this. So
Okay.
it's going to be incumbent upon them to do
Right.
their due diligence
Right.
and communicating with the building department, for this, so.
Okay, thank you.
The next property is 35854 Vinewood. House is vacant, it's been in enforcement since '09, water's been off since 2013. It's very unmaintained property, home, everything in the neighborhood.
Discussion? None?
Next one is 6577 Washington, been in enforcement since 14. Sent multiple letters with no responses. Water's been off since 2018. We speak to the neighbor pretty frequently about what's going on and how this process is going, and we get multiple complaints about this property not being upkept.
Discussion?
She wants to speak on that.
Okay, she,
It's totally up to you
Yeah,
unless you
speak
want
on
to
it.
wait
Go
to
ahead,
public
Rick.
comment.
Make
It's up
it-
to you, Mr. Chair.
yeah, go ahead. Now, come to the podium, please.
That's my mom's house. I am her POA. I didn't know things was this bad. I am now on the deed, though. I went down and got my name on the deed and all that good stuff. But me and my daughter right now are in the process of demoing it. We already demoed it, took everything out of the house, and we are looking to restore it so that she can move into it. I didn't know things were this bad. My mother has dementia, and there's a lot going on. And I didn't know all these things that's going on that was really this bad. We was over there demoing, and that's how we saw the notice on the front door. Other than that, we wouldn't have known what was going on. I didn't have an idea of what was happening. So that's why we haven't spoken to the owners, because we had no idea. Yeah, but if you have any resources for us or any kind of help you can give us, we're willing to.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely give you my contact information, and we can have people reach out there and try to figure out what all we need.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Through the chair.
Yes, Ms.
Yeah,
Talley.
thank you, Jeff. Yeah, she's here, up here, talking on behalf of her mom. I'm sorry about, I know. So trying to take care of your mom and her affairs. So thank you for coming.
Right. Thank you. Good job.
And the last house on the list is 11114 Whitehorn. This property is at the corner of Whitehorn and Neville, I think. If I remember correctly, it is, so the homeowner passed away and they left it to their daughter who lives in Georgia. I have had contact with the daughter multiple times. I've gotten multiple neighbor complaints about the yard and the cleanup. She did do a lot of the interior yard cleanup and like exterior brush cleanup that's happened. We did receive a email from somebody on their part today as well, at sometime like 4:30 or something today, I think it was. I didn't get to read through that
This-
whole thing.
This is, I received an email from, a call and an email from Oscar Roten, Metro Realty, and I guess they plan to list this property. I'll just read the email from Mr. Roten. It said, "It is my understanding that tonight the city has a public hearing on demolition of the subject property. We just received the info today, and the property owner cannot attend due to living in Georgia. Our office is in the process of listing the property and have several parties, developers, that have an interest to purchase the property and bring it back to city requirements. I or my associate broker, Patrick Novak, cannot attend, having other commitments tonight. If possible, could this be delayed until we have potential developers inspected with possible purchase and rehab? A 90-day delay should give us sufficient time. Thank you for your consideration, Oscar Roten, Jr." So I guess from what he explained was that I guess they just kind of got involved. They want to sell this. There are some developers that are interested in it, but he hasn't been in there yet, and I guess they want to see if this is a possibility to rehab it or should it be demolished. But that's kind of where they are with it today. So until they can assess all that, that's why he's asking for the extension.
I do know on the exterior of the structure, I have not been on the interior. The foundation there's like an addition that was put on that the foundation is failing and sinking on the rear section. I haven't been inside. I did have a lot of communication with Mrs. Hewley a while back during the cleanup of the property and when she was trying to decide if she was going to sell it or rehab it or what it was, but I have not had any communication with her in the last few months since this process has been going on.
Okay.
Through the chair.
Yes, Mayor?
So this has been in code enforcement since 2009? and they still haven't submitted an invoice or anything from a licensed contractor to show what the cost of repairs are gonna be. So we have a house that's in imminent danger of collapse here because the foundation is substantially damaged, and they haven't even hired a contractor to write up how much should it cost to repair. Okay, just wanna make sure.
And I don't know the exact timeline and date of when her father passed away, and then when he left, because she said it was kind of a surprise to her that he left it to her, but we have been in communication for probably the last 5 or 6 months.
You have been in communication?
We have, and for during the cleanup of the property, but then I haven't had any response to what was gonna happen to the structure itself. I did clean up the interior of the property and remove a bunch of debris and a bunch of brush and everything, but ever since that's got completed, I haven't had any communication about what their plan was with the structure.
Through the chair.
Just one more.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, we have a
Ms. Adams.
realtor here who's representing, I can't see why a 90-day, he's asking for 90 days. I can't see why we're in a big hurry. If he's asking for 90 days and he possibly could do it, I think we should take it off the demolition list, maybe have a second demolition list for these people that are trying to do the rehabs, you know? And this would be one, that, and the one on Bibbin Street, I think, is also one that we need to, well, I've talked to you about this before, because we really don't know the condition of that house, so I can't see putting it on the demo list right now. And then the other one was at Middle Belt? The Middle Belt homes. You've got the one that's tied up in court. Out of respect for our court system, I think we need to let it play out in the court. Those are the 3 I have questions with.
Right.
Mayor?
Thank you, through the chair. In regards to the Middle Belt one, the city's been after that property for some kind of repairs even, and cleanup, even with the fire department and the pallet storage there for years. And if they have attorneys on this one, I would highly doubt that they they missed the fact that it's lost its non-conforming status. On the one that we're talking about now, on the last one that's up there, Whitehorn, aren't you receiving numerous complaints from the residents too who are living around that?
Yeah, multiple neighbors.
I think we've both been out there on site and met, and they both are tired of looking at this thing, and they're both worried about open to trespass.
Yes.
And, okay. So all these homes here, you are getting complaints on them from
Oh, yeah.
residents who, thank you.
And if I may, Mr. Chair, Mr. Roten wasn't asking to take it off the list. I think they're just trying to, he's just getting involved with it as well. But, and again, we've referred him to talk to you.
Yeah.
So he can get, kind of get up to speed on it. So it wasn't more just take them off the list. It was just, they need time to kind of assess on their end, what's going on and what the developer, just getting involved with this. So,
Right, okay.
And I just received these communications
I know. It's
since
just
3 o'clock this
Yeah.
afternoon. These communications on those couple properties were brand new. So I did already, the stuff with the court, I did forward to our attorney and let him know about it and let them know that we would discuss this, this week. And then same way, the other one came like 4:30 this afternoon. So I will have a discussion with them tomorrow, but they just both came today.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, really. Oh, go ahead.
The one on Washington, the young lady that spoke up, they are trying to, then they're cleaning up, getting ready for demo, possible rehabbing it for her to move in.
Yes.
So I think that one, she just, I know her mother has dementia, and she just got the notice about giving, instead of just tearing it down right now, give them a chance to clean it up.
Yeah, and I am more than willing to come out there and get you guys out there, walk through it, to figure out what the expense of repairs is gonna be required, and then so you guys can make the best decision we can make for what the property is, and I'd be willing to meet you out there this week.
You're the chair.
Yes, Ms. Taylor?
And just to concur with Councilman Jones's comments, y'all showed up. You came out here, so we appreciate you coming out before us and not saying nothing about nobody else, but you guys are here, so thank you for coming out. We leaving you in the hands of a good guy here. I mean, this guy knows his craft, so I'm sure he's going to do as much as possible as he can to assist through the process. So thanks, Jeff, and bringing this, and thank you all for coming out tonight to defend your property. We appreciate it.
Mr. Jones?
Okay, then, and the property on Bibbins, she had said that she had paid a contractor some money,
Yeah.
and he stood her up.
Yes.
She's
yeah.
trying to do something to, because that's,
I have a roof,
right,
he was a contractor.
but he never pulled the permits.
Yep. And we do have, and we have spoke and been in communication, and we do have a walkthrough scheduled for Friday. I'm
Okay.
gonna go over there Friday and walk through the property.
Okay, because Jeff, you're gonna communicate with her, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? Yes, Mayor?
Just, yeah, Jeff, what I recommended, I would have a city search inspection schedule, so you get all the trades, have electrical go with you, so they know fully what they're getting into before they, you know, you don't run into that situation where a contractor says, hey, I can do A, B, and C for you, and then they really can't. You wanna make sure you know, so.
Any other comments? That's it?
Quick question, the timeline between, I know tonight's a public hearing, and I know there's a lot of different things you'll have to do. When would this come back before council? Is there a timeline or with
My
this?
hopes
or-
would be the next council meeting.
Okay.
And by then, I'll have much more information on the properties that have questions. I'll be able to find out exactly what's going on and be able to tell you guys exactly what it is on these. And a lot of these houses are houses that have been sitting for a long time, you know, that nobody's been living in, they've been sitting for a very long time, and we would love to see, because I don't love to tear down homes, right? We would love to see homes be rehabbed, fixed, as long as they're safe and up to code and look nice in the community, that would be fantastic. It's just a lot of these are ones that have been sitting for a very long time, we're trying to get some action on.
And then once they're approved, or, you know, that goes before council, then you still have to go through the process
There's
of.
a whole, yeah, we have to
Yes,
do.
we're talking
Yeah,
about
we have to do
months.
title searches, disconnects, environmental testing. Then once we get all that back, then we have to put it out to public, put a bid package together, put it out to public bid. And then when we get the bids back, we come back to council to award a bidder. And after that is when when we could actually schedule the demolitions to be done. But in that process, there starts to become cost that gets incurred to the property. Because the title searches cost money, the environmental testing costs money, those things, the disconnects cost money.
Mayor, you had some?
Yeah, just one quick last comment. First, thank both of you for showing up to talk about your properties, talk about what your intent was. And I can't emphasize enough, getting that report from the building department, because a lot of time a contractor will come by and people really don't know what's entailed with making that house livable again and passing the building code. You know, it could cost you $80,000 to repair that house and make it standard with the code. And that's when you start looking at, does it make more sense to tear it down, or do I want to keep putting money into this property? But at least you have something to work with, and it's coming from a neutral site, which is the city and the building department. And just one additional point on the Middle Belt site, because there was confusion on the title on that one. That's been under code enforcement for quite some time, and they also have 30 days that they can file an appeal with circuit court. And that's the type of property where it's a commercial property, it's commercial industrial, people that own that property. I'm not inclined to spend tax dollars to tear that down. It should come out of the pockets of the people who own that property. They either fix it and they make it usable again, or demolish the property. So that's another one where you're gonna pursue them at 34th District Court, so it will be approved for demolition, but we're gonna force them to act on it. You know, our tax dollars shouldn't go towards tearing down their blighted structure. So that's all I have to say about that. We just wanted to share that information.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? Okay.
If there's no further discussion on demolition list 24-1, takes us to number 4, public comment. And this is the portion on the agenda for those that are here. If you have additional comments that you'd like to make at this time, you may do so. You'll have 3 minutes to speak concerning the demolition list. You may do so now. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, this is the part of the agenda that's open for you.
Any discussion from the public? If not, we'll close that part out.
Number 5, adjournment.
Need adjournment, yeah.
So moved.
I second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley for adjournment. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Our next meeting is executive session.